Hi everyone, welcome to Icons Behind Brand, and this is Devleena, your host for today. We are here with another exciting episode of Iconic Ads with Devleena and Saurabh, and with me I have my expert co-host Mr. Saurabh Bajaj. Hi Saurabh.
Hello. Hi.
To
Good to be here
IVB.
again.
And we are here to speak about another exciting and iconic campaign today. And I have a guest, Miss Vani Gupta, who is an independent business consultant at Cherry Peach Plum Growth Partners. So, Vani, warm welcome to you.
Hi,
Thank
Vani.
you. Thank you. Lovely being here.
Same here, Vani, and I'm so excited to talk about campaign. So, let me start the ad first.
खत्म। कुरकुरे अब और भी टेस्टी और भी मजेदार। अब खत्म।
Yeah.
So I'll tell you why this ad is my favorite. If you see Kurkure, first of all, Kurkure is something that can't have been conceived anywhere else. It's an indigenous brand, of course. One of the brands of PepsiCo that we're most proud of, which was indigenously created. And the thing about Kurkure is that in many ways it represents everything that Indian snacking is about. It is about Indian snacking is chaotic. It's masala. It's a burst of flavor. It's chatpata. It's about wiping the dirty hands on your on your clothes and not thinking about it. So if you see in this ad, if you see in this ad, okay. So I was saying that in this ad, what happens is, Kunal, was it Kunal or Perman Irani, one of them opens the packet of Kurkure and the other one is watching and the other one is saying, he's looking to dip his hands into the Kurkure packet. The thing about a Kurkure packet is that when a Kurkure packet is opened, if you're in the company of anyone else, it can't be that another hand will not go inside the packet. It is not a snack that you can have by yourself. Typically in office also, जब वो packet खुलता है, so there are always 3-4 hands that go inside it, whether you like it or not. You may be you can't be the hygiene finicky kind that says, oh, I don't like so many hands touching. No, you can't be that with a packet of Kurkure. So, and the other thing about Kurkure is that the masala is so yummy. You're always licking the masala, so you don't worry about putting your hands in your mouth and actually licking the masala off your fingers. So if you see in this ad, it's been taken to the next level where वो पैकेट खत्म हो जाता है and then Boman Irani says to Kunal कि अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ and he takes Kunal's hands and he's licking his fingers, which is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting to be licking someone else's fingers because the masala laga. So the thing about Kurkure and about snacking is that जब तक हम एज इंडियंस उसको चाट के नहीं खाए तब तक लगता ही नहीं कि उसका मजा आया it's the true test of taste and we wanted to establish our taste credentials. Kurkure is also a brand that has spawned a million lookalikes. Kurkure, करारे, टकाटक तो हल्दीराम का है, कम से कम वो नाम थोड़ा अलग है, पर आई एम सेइंग कुरकुरे के जरा variations. There are a zillion in the market. I mean, there have been times when I have gone on market visit and I have picked up the fraud kurkure and eating it and thinking ये शायद मेरा लग नहीं रहा, and it's taken me a while to figure, oh, ये तो मेरा है ही नहीं, ये तो fraud kurkure है. So there are so many, and we wanted to establish that there is none on taste that is the original best in the market, and that is why, to reinforce our taste credentials, we did this ad. And the thing about snacking is it's the storytelling and all that is all right. That is that's nice to do, but the one thing that the ad has to do, because we are an impulse product, and actually this product is such, मतलब अगर टीवी में ad आया है, even after I've had खाना and I'm absolutely on a full stomach, and yet when I've seen a Kurkure ad, it should create drool in my mouth. I should still want to reach out for that packet of Kurkure. Say Kurkure के लिए अभी भी जगह है. I can still have a Kurkure. It must achieve that. So if the ad doesn't achieve that on taste, on drool, then it hasn't done a good job. And I think this ad did that fabulously well. It was so unabashedly about the masala and the maza of the masala and these two men, and I think this ad could have been pulled off only because we had these two characters.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think the casting was really great.
the casting is really great now, and I think Baman is one of my favorite characters. He's I think he's one of the finest actors Bollywood has produced.
So with a straight face, how can he just pulled Kunal's fingers in his mouth? I mean, that's fabulous, I mean, only Bowman with that straight face should carry it off, because he's got that mix of. But Vani, let me pull you back a little bit, because Kurkure is again one of my favorite innovations, right? And the reason why, and given your history of working with innovations specifically, why I find it really fascinating is because one of the thoughts which has always been in my head is that one of the most interesting way of doing innovations is to figure out the whole category, the two ends of a category, and take a leaf out of one end of the category and put it into the other. And just to tell you what I'm talking about, if you see fog, the reason why fog was such a clutter-breaking innovation, because in my head, fog is nothing but a perfume in a deodorant bottle. And the two ends of the fragrances is perfume and deodorants. Perfumes are liquid, deodorants are gas. And you put a liquid into a deodorant bottle. Similarly, when you see the snacks category, you got Indian salted snacks and you got Western salted snacks. Indian salted snacks are more savory. They are cheaper. They are more ethnic. They are something that you have, maybe along with your tea, like a dal mot or something else, or a singdana. And the other hand, you have the Western snacks, which are had with, say, Coke, on the go, out of home, and hence it's a very different ritual. But I always feel that Kurkure is such a fascinating innovation because it takes an Indian ethnic snack and it puts it into a Western chips packet, right? And which is where it kicks. And hence, I just want to understand a little bit about its genesis. What do you think about this as an innovation strategy? And, what do you think are the reasons for its success? How was it dreamt up and, what happened? Some kind of.
You've already said it brilliantly, Saurabh. It's exactly that. So, prior to Kurkure, namkeens, by the way, is the biggest category in branded snacks. And namkeens is such an animal. I mean, when I left, it was about 40,000 crores. It should be, I don't know, close to 60,000 crores. It's massive. And we are talking over here about branded namkeen. Unbranded namkeens, jo khula wo dabbe mein milta hai, in most of India, all of Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Gujarat is very, very big. Down south, all the dals are very big. Now over there, wo dabbo mein loose pada hota hai. And then you buy it by the kilo. So namkeens is a massive category, and India can't stop eating namkeens. It just grows in double digits, between 12 and 16% happily every year, no matter what. We were in this situation where potato chips was at one end. Potato chips was very, very expensive, the highest end of the price bracket, So it's typically about 400, 500 rupees a kilo versus namkeens, which spans a large range. And we wanted, exactly as you said, we wanted to take inspiration from potato chips, which is a finger snack. It is a finger snack. So usko haath mein aise pakad sakte hain, which was considered like a neat, clean format. And we wanted to borrow from the namkeen world. It's something about the deliciousness, the maza, the chatpata, the multi-textured namkeen, which India can't have enough of. So we wanted to marry the two. And then, of course, we had international Cheetos. There is inspiration that's taken from Cheetos also. So basically, the three were sort of fused together. And we came up with this Kurkures. Ki kai trials hue the initially 1990 when it was launched, iske pehle iske bahut trials hue the, from what I have heard from the earlier brand customers. And iska masala bahut baar change hua tha. The maza is in the masala. If you go to the Kurkure factory, there is so much masala in the air, like even with the mask and everything, you feel like your whole being, till the toes, you feel you're immersed in that masala. Achha, I may say that Kurkure is like an item number in your mouth. You know, first of all, when you open the packet, and we did this neuro study, you open the packet and there's this burst of masala. You're like, you're like, oh my God, this is my recreation time. It's the equivalent of doing that item number. Then you would take out this stick from the bag, and you're looking at it in anticipation. And before you can, there is barely enough time for that. And and you put it in your mouth. There's crunch, exactly. There's a crunch, and then there's this burst of flavors. And there's something about that burst of flavors you can't resist putting your hand into and you go cut, and it's teda, it's irregular, it's chaotic, it's different sized pieces. All of it's, in a way, it represents all of the chaos that India is about, and I think that's what, even in the earlier ads, all of the Juhi Chawla ads sort of made Kurkure what it was. One of the ads which I haven't done actually, but I think is still worth talking about, is the one that Anuja wrote.
ये टेढ़ा है but मेरा है.
टेढ़ा है पर मेरा है. That
I love that line. I just love that line.
I love that line, and that line came from that ad, which actually, to see that character, it's disgusting to see this guy who does that, stands up and does that Shahrukh. It's a Juhi Chawla ad, okay? Yeah, play that ad.
Crazy
I
ad.
love this
So
ad.
damn well made.
And the casting is so perfect, and it's so typically what India is about. So the thing about Kurkure is that it's one of the finest brands, I think, in the Indian landscape, that has been able to make fun of Indian traditions in a way that the audience laughs with what Kurkure does of it. It doesn't do it in a way that it's offensive. The audience laughs with what Kurkure has done of Kurkure is able to show a mirror to the Indian society about a lot of the craziness, a lot of the strange traditions we have.
It keeps playing at the back of your mind. I remember one of my marketing friends once mentioned that an ad which can have a universality, like there are thousands of situations in your life with the same ad, the same insights keeps hitting you. I think that's when it becomes iconic, So this whole thing of, you have the situation so many times in your life, you're like, yeah, ye both teda hai. But you're like, okay, teda hai, but mera hai.
Yeah, then you feel proud about that teda itself, right?
So, since we're talking so much about this teda hai par mera, I must also tell you something about Kurkure. What happened was, we saw ITC came with Tede Mere. And ITC did a fantastic guerrilla act on us. What happened was that there was complete confusion in the market on Kurkure kya hai, ITC ka kya hai. Kurkure started being referred to as Teda Meda, and ITC was in any case called Tede Mede. So what ITC was doing was, in a way, which is politically the wrong thing for me to say, but it's true, a lot of our GRPs were getting attributed to them. The worst nightmare for a
brand custodian.
It's the worst nightmare possible. And then we brought in the whole family. Yeah, then we brought in this family. Parinidhi Chopra, Boman Irani, Farida Jalal, they were fantastic. Diwali promo we had run, okay? This Diwali, make sure you spend Diwali with your parents, because there are too many of us who are spending Diwali away from parents, and Diwali is that one festival which you want to do with family, and it's not just for you, it's also for your parents. So we said Kurkure will facilitate that, and we will give you one air ticket every hour. You can win one air ticket, and there was a promo and all around. Simple film banni thi, ek promo film banni thi, and Bhavan Irani has to do this little few seconds dance on the sets, okay? And he has to make this dramatic entry. The story somehow was that Baman is the elder brother who's away, and Farida Jalal is the mum. And Baman is making this dramatic entry. And, the whole family said, oh, we never thought he's going to be back. And, oh, wow, he's here for Diwali and all of that. So for him to make this dramatic entry, we wanted to put these light bulbs all over on him, okay? That typical, I am a disco dancer style, there are the bulbs all over on him that would go ding-chak like that. So doing all of that stuff was taking time, because we literally had electric wires all over him, and these bulbs had to go ding-chak. So in all of this, the film shoot was taking longer than required.
So one thing more I wanted to ask you about, innovation in this category. So the other product that comes to my mind, which is used with similar insight, is the bingo triangle.
Yeah.
Because that's also like a khakra in a packet. So was this something that you guys also wanted to launch, and what do you think? Was it competing directly with Kurkure, or did it have its own market? How did that play out?
So actually that was launched much earlier than us. And we always thought that it's too small. is not worth taking notice of. And who do they think they are? We're Kurkure and we're the big market leaders, So let these guys do whatever shit they want to do in some corner. And suddenly we're looking at the share graph and we're saying, what? How, when did they suddenly become so big? Like, oh, are they really so big? Are you kidding me? And the sales team is saying, ye to sab jagah hai. It's like, shit, man, it's sort of crept up behind us. And it's suddenly become very big now. We've got to figure out what to do with this animal. And that's how we then launched our own product. And I think what ITC did brilliantly, ITC is a king on distribution without doubt. And I keep saying this again and again, all of the marketing in any snack is just vanity, the so-called marketing. When I say more than marketing, what I should be saying is communication. Like pretty ads are vanity. But you've got to get packaging right. Packaging is crucial. You've got to get packaging right. You've got to get the pack architecture, the revenue management in the pack, the grammage, the pricing absolutely right. The trade margins, that equation you must get right. The Ladi configuration and how you're going to get the visibility in the shop is very, very crucial because it's an impulse snack. And that's true for most snacks. Then the other one is just distribution. Because it's an impulse snack. I mean, how many of us, even for namkeens or whatever else, are we actually thinking about मैंने कौन सा ad देखा in the shop? Are we actually buying basis ad? No. वो दुकान में जो दिख रहा है, जो सबसे टेस्टी लग रहा है, और हमने देखा बाकी भी खरीद रहे हैं, दुकानदार बोल रहा है अच्छा लग रहा है, वो हम खरीदते हैं. So all of the advertising is really vanity, actually, and that is what Bingo managed. Of course, they had ads also. Their ads were also brilliant. But the one thing that should really be attributed to their success is super distribution. And what they were able to do was in all the pan ki dukan, the pan and sutta ki dukan, because ITC is sutta king. So in all the pan and cigarette shops, wo unki ladi hoti thi. And suddenly their market share soared. We weren't as good in that channel. For us, it was an effort. So that's how. So I keep saying this in, for any snacking business, advertising is all right. वो देख लो, but advertising is still vanity. Just make sure you're available. It's actually more than the consumer sentiment. What you really got to manage is the sales sentiment. If sales believes that इसमें दम है, sales alone can catapult you to the number one position.
Super. That sounds great. A1.
Just so easy to speak to both of you and to just flowed so naturally. So thank you so much for this. I've thoroughly enjoyed it myself.
Sure.
Thank you for being here, Vani. So we will be in touch.
Cool.
So let's do that.
Okay. Bye, guys. Have a great
Thanks
Sunday.
so much, Vani, for
Have a
making
great
it.
day.
Yeah.
Take care.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye. What a wonderful conversation we had with Vani and such nice expressions, So I'm keen to know about the key takeaways and learnings from this particular piece of conversation, Saurabh.
So, Devleena, I think what I really liked about this conversation is the fact that Kurkure is one of all our favorite brands. Yeah. And why is it one of our favorite brands? Because of iconic innovation. The whole blending together of the Indian and Western snacks category, figuring out something like inspired by Indian snack and putting it into a Western snack packet is a great way to steal share, great way to grow the category, and that is what Kurkure has done well. Yeah. Now the challenge, however, in this case is the way ITC acquired the whole Teda Meda concept through a pack called Teda Meda. And when you have an iconic ad like "Ye Teda hai to meda hai," and if somebody squats upon it, it's a big risk. So that, for me, from a legal and IP standpoint, how do you protect that? I think that's critical. The third part of the conversation for me, which is very interesting, is the fact that there is life beyond advertising. There's a role of distribution. There's a role of packaging. And I personally like the fact that how they use the pack to say that, it's got a lot of materials, the size of the pack, the fluorescent orange color, the organoleptics of each of the products on the wrapper, and how that was done tastefully, and the fact that marketing is really the mix of all of these elements and not just one of them. So I think that for me is the top three learnings. So one, classic innovation at play, understanding different categories to steal from. Second, being able to ensure that you use legal and IP to protect your assets. This could be communication or packaging. And third, about how marketing is far beyond just advertising, and the fact that packaging is also so important in being able to steal share at the point of distribution, at the point of shelf, by the right packaging and organoleptic cues on a packaging. So for me, these are top 3 takeouts. Great fun conversation again.
Superb. Thank you so much, Saurabh, for sharing these takeaways with us and with our viewers and listeners also. It was fun having you here in the show, and we all are enjoying all the conversations.
Great. All the best, guys. Thank you so much for viewing in, and catch you next week.
Thank you.
Okay.